The resilient and sensible Plymouth Valiant. Ah, the Plymouth Valiant. If there ever was an automotive equivalent of a reliable old pair of shoes, this would be it. Introduced in 1960, when Elvis was still swiveling his hips, and the Beatles were merely a British oddity, the Valiant represented Plymouth's foray into the compact car market. But let's be clear, this wasn't some drab econobox. No, the Valiant was a testament to sensible design and American reliability. When you first lay eyes on a Valiant, you might think it was styled by someone who believes excitement and risk are heinous crimes. Its look is as conservative as the Queen's handbag collection, but don't let that fool you. The design is clean, functional, and it's got the kind of understated confidence you'd expect from a man who still wears a wristwatch in the age of smartwatches. In an era of flamboyant fins and chromeexcess, the Valiant's restraint was almost revolutionary. Let's talk engines. The most significant jewel in the Valiant's crown was its slant 6 engine, an engineering masterpiece that could easily run after nuclear fallout. The 170 and 225 cubic inch versions of this leaner earned a reputation for being virtually indestructible, an iron lung in an era of frail hearts. The slant 6 was built at a 30-degree angle, allowing for a lower hood line and thus a more aerodynamic shape, if you could call a car shaped like a bread loaf aerodynamic. The driving experience was, let's say, unique. With a suspension setup that indulged in more wallowing than a hippo in a mud bath, handling was never the Valiant's forte. This was a car that took corners with all the enthusiasm of a teenager faced with chores. But what it lacked in agility, it made up for in comfort. Long journeys felt less like an assault on the spine, and more like a gentle, albeit slightly wobbly, nudge from a soft cushion. Inside, the Valiant was all about function over form. Vinyl seats that reminded you of a diner booth, oversized dials that looked like they were pilfered from a submarine, and a steering wheel the size of a small planet. Everything was built to last, a concept that today's world of disposable technology would find utterly alien. There were no frivolities, no distractions, just you, the road, and a speedometer that probably lied about just how fast you were going. The Valiant wasn't a stranger to versatility either. Available in a multitude of body styles, from two-door coupes to four-door wagons, it could cater to the needs of single commuters and large families alike. In the 1960s and early 70s, a Plymouth Valiant was just as likely to be seen hauling kids and groceries as it was ferrying hippies to an anti-war protest. Now, let's not gloss over its pop culture credentials. Though it never achieved the limelight of a Mustang or a Corvette, the Valiant made its mark. For instance, in the TV series, The Brady Bunch, the family car was a 1968 Plymouth Valiant. It embodied the wholesome, pragmatic ideals of middle-class America, perfectly in tune with the dad jokes and life lessons that show was infamous for. By the time the last Valiant rolled off the assembly line in 1976, it had already cemented its legacy as a car that refused to die quietly. It's a vehicle that looked at the ever-changing, increasingly manic world of automotive trends and said, "No, I'll just be here doing my job, thank you very much." It wasn't trying to impress the world. It was just trying to get you from A to B, no frills attached. So here's to the Plymouth Valiant, the steadfast, hard-working hero of American roads. Practical, reliable, and proudly lacking in pretension. It may not have ever set the world on fire, but it never needed to. It was, and still is, valiantly unforgettable. If you enjoyed this nostalgic ride through automotive history, smash that like button and subscribe to Auto Icons. We've got more gems and duds from the car world just waiting to be explored. Stay tuned, gasoline junkies.